Hello and welcome to the show. This is The Entrepreneur. My name is Paul K. Mwaura. Most people express themselves by what they wear. We are headed to Ridgeways where we meet our first guest who has gotten into a business out of passion. Join me as we talk to her and welcome to the show. At the tender age of 23 years, Sarah has been able to put her sketches into real wearable dresses. This is Sarah of Sarah Carey Designs, and this is her world of fashion.
Who Sarah is, before I started Sarah Carey, I was in high school. I was in two awesome high schools. I was in Msongari and Makini. So in Msongari, I started sketching and making outfits for my mom and her friends and family members. Those small things you do. But I didn't think I'd actually get into design. So the first outfit I actually did was for my friend. She was competing for Miss Msongari. And she was second runners-up. So from then on, that's when I started now getting more interest in fashion because of the response I got and etc. When I joined Makini, that's when I joined my art class. I'd never done art before, ever. And my teacher, Mr. Okanga, actually called it out when I was there. He actually said, you'll probably do something to do with fashion for some reason. I was always sketching, I love sketching, and I draw them in small papers. I don't like books because I'm sketching wherever I am. Now when I finished high school, I joined USIU. And during my first year in USIU, that's when I thought maybe this can actually be something more than just a hobby. So I sat my parents down. I made a PowerPoint presentation on pros and cons of why they should invest in Sarah Carey. I had a whole chart on, projections on how much I'd probably earn in some few years, or things like that, just for them to invest. So they invested, and the first show I had was at Hilton, and that's what they basically invested in, having my first collection, having a runway show. I had a couple of friends help me modeling. So it was basically like a family-oriented type of show, not really, but they had many people. So that was the beginning of Sarah Carey. Currently, I'm at USIU. I'm a fourth-year student doing International Business Administration and Marketing. And this is my final semester. I'm graduating in August. So why I chose to do business and marketing in school is because I'm also interested in marketing a lot. Like, that was actually something that I always said I wanted to do from high school, that I wanted to do marketing. I wanted to be a marketing director of a big company. So when I started the fashion line, I thought this would actually help in marketing the company, knowing how to bring about the business side of fashion, because I wouldn't want to make losses in my business. You don't want to make so many outfits and you're not selling. I'm able to balance school and work. Number one, I'm time management. Basically just putting aside time for social life, of course, school life and work life. So, and the best thing about the school I'm in, which is USIU, I'm able to talk to the lecturers and leave. Like if I'm traveling, I can excuse myself and do my exams when I come back, and things like that. So it's helped me balance, as well as having my mom as the manager. She helps, like when I'm in school, she can go for meetings and stuff like that.
Starting out at the age of 20 years, Sarah has been able to make strides in her career. Her first runway show was at Hilton Hotel and was a success. She takes us through some of the works and her brand has engaged in.
My first show, the turnout was amazing. Like, people who they just saw the poster on Facebook or from an interview, and they came, and it was a very good turnout. So the show Sarah Carey has been able to participate in, the first one was at the Hilton when I was launching my line. Then after that, the same year in 2012, I did Nairobi Fashion Market. I did Naivasha Fashion Weekend at Enashipai. And then now in 2013, I did Africa Fashion Week New York. That was my first show outside Kenya. And then after that, in 2014, I did Catwalk in the Sky in Singapore, where I was the only African designer and the youngest. And then I did a couple of shows now, end of last year. Las Vegas Fashion Week, Baltimore Fashion Week, Maryland Fashion Week.
Sarah Carey Designs have a unique touch. So how does Sarah base her collection?
Under the Sarah Carey logo, you'll always see Earth, Air, Fire, Water. So what that means, that's how I base my collections. I have an Earth collection, an Air collection, Fire, Water. And I think it's the elements. It's elements, and I think it's creative, it's different, and it's an easier way to translate the summer, spring, winter from out there to make it more African, because we don't have the seasons. So that's how I base them out. So I source my materials from certain people in Nairobi. They import fabrics that I actually like. So we liaise together. They show me what's out there, and I choose what I want them to bring in. So the person I look up to is Zuhair Murad. And the people I target when I make the clothes is young and young at heart, people who want to be fashionable, yet it's functional at the same time. People who are modern but still have an African touch to it. So it's a mix of both worlds. Yes.
Starting out as an entrepreneur, one must be prepared from the startup capital to the numerous challenges.
For the startup capital, because I was having a show, that's why it became costly, because I was having a show to release it. It was about 300,000. And what helped, actually what cut costs, was because I had friends modeling and people backstage, family. It was just basically a family and friend affair. The initial challenge was finding people who can interpret my designs, because I've not gone to school to do tailoring or anything like that. So getting people to first interpret my designs was a challenge. And then, of course, capital, like all businesses, because it's expensive. Having a full collection is really expensive, and you don't have a store yet, so you're hoping people will find a way to buy your stuff. Another challenge has been, in the Kenyan market, it's not yet grown to the size that we hope to be in terms of clientele. People will bargain down to 1,500, not understanding that there was design, there was material, so at least it's making a shift, but not as fast as I was hoping. But at least I have my clientele base.
How does Sarah ensure her brand is known?
I market myself through my website and also social media platforms. So I have a Facebook account, Instagram, Twitter, yes, all the above. And also, just having satisfied clients, that's enough marketing, because they'll go and refer you to someone else, and that's what happens. Word of mouth is very powerful.
All work and no play makes Sarah a dull girl. What she indulges in her free time, as well as her parting shot. My
hobbies, apart from fashion and sketching, I love music, I love movies, I love traveling. I'm an outdoorsy person. To ensure I secure my future, I actually save, because I've built this from ground up, and I wouldn't want it to go down to just be there was a Sarah Carey back then, that kind of thing. So it's basically just for a secure future, and I'd really like this to be my main company. I don't want to be employed at all. My advice to the young people is to stop procrastinating and stop making excuses on why something can't start. Because you can start with as little as 10,000, as little as 5. You start somewhere, And if you continue making excuses, you'll keep postponing until you're old and you say, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. So I think the main thing is stop procrastinating. Just come up with a work plan on your vision, what you want to do. If you have a vision, you can get to where you want to be.